Something seriously feels off in NASCAR right now. And if you've been following this season closely, you probably already feel it too. This weekend didn't just give fans one major story. It gave us two, and honestly both of them hit hard. The kind of situations that make you stop for a second and wonder what's really happening behind the scenes in this sport. We're talking about frustration boiling over, expectations completely falling apart, and a situation that suddenly feels much bigger than just one bad race weekend. What makes this even crazier is that everything unfolded step by step right in front of us. First before the race even started, and then during the race when things somehow got even worse. If you're a real NASCAR fan, you already know exactly why everybody is talking about this right now. Now let's talk about Kyle Busch, because what's happening right now honestly feels bigger than just a rough stretch. It's starting to look like a complete spiral for both Busch and Childress Racing. Everything started before the green flag even dropped at Martinsville during qualifying for the Cookout 400. And honestly, it couldn't have gone much worse. While drivers like Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Josh Berry, Ty Gibbs, and Shane Van Gisbergen all showed serious speed, Busch could only manage a disappointing 34th place qualifying run. But what really got fans talking was the way Busch described the car afterward. He called it sideways, loose, and nearly impossible to drive. That's not a driver who's slightly unhappy with the setup. That's a driver with absolutely zero confidence in what he's driving. When reporters asked if the team could fix the car before race day, Busch basically admitted nobody really knew. And that alone told fans everything they needed to know. Then things became even more concerning. During media interviews before the race, Busch openly admitted he was expecting tire problems very early in the run. He even predicted he would desperately need a caution somewhere around lap 30 or 40 because the tires simply would not survive much longer than that. Think about that for a second. Before the race even started, Kyle Busch already knew the car wasn't capable of surviving a long run. That's a massive warning sign for a veteran driver like him. And this is where the conversation starts becoming bigger than just Martinsville. Kyle Busch hasn't won a NASCAR Cup Series race since June of 2023. For a two-time champion and one of the greatest drivers NASCAR has ever seen, that kind of drought feels shocking. We're now talking about a driver stuck in a 100-race winless streak while still searching for answers inside the number 8 car at Childress Racing. Even Kevin Harvick recently talked about the situation and admitted something many fans have already been thinking for months. When Busch first joined RCR during the early Gen 7 era, the team had speed immediately and even won races. But ever since midway through that first season, things have slowly started collapsing. And right now, it honestly feels like the speed just isn't there anymore. Then race day arrived, and unfortunately for Busch, everything he warned about before the race actually happened. There was no early caution to save the team's strategy, and by lap 46 Busch was already trapped one lap down. Before that happened, fans listening to the team radio could hear the frustration completely boiling over. Busch was demanding more rear brake, asking for better drive off the corners, and practically begging the team to give him something he could actually race with. That wasn't normal frustration. That sounded like pure anger from a driver who knows he's stuck in a situation that isn't improving. And honestly, the results only made everything look worse. By the end of Stage 1, all 3 Childress Racing cars were running 26th or worse. This isn't just about Kyle Busch struggling anymore. The entire organization looks lost right now. Busch entered Martinsville sitting 23rd in the standings and still searching for his first top 10 finish of the season. Then Martinsville turned into another disaster weekend. Once you connect everything together, the terrible qualifying run, the concerns before the race, the radio frustration during the event, and the final result, the picture becomes very clear. Busch knew the car was bad before the race started, and somehow the race itself proved the situation was even worse than expected. Now the biggest question isn't whether they can fix one bad weekend. The real question is whether Childress Racing can fix this overall situation at all. And that's what makes this so uncomfortable for NASCAR fans to watch right now. This is a contract year for Kyle Busch. This is one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history. And this is a race team that suddenly looks incapable of consistently competing near the front. That combination creates enormous pressure. Maybe they eventually turn things around and make an incredible comeback story. But honestly, right now, it feels like things are heading in the wrong direction. And that's tough for fans because nobody wants to see Kyle Busch struggling like this. NASCAR fans want to see Rowdy fighting for wins again. They want to see Childress Racing back near the front where they belong. But after everything we just watched at Martinsville, that road back suddenly looks extremely difficult. Personally, I don't think this is simply about Kyle Busch having a bad stretch. I think the bigger issue is the combination itself. Busch is still one of the most talented drivers in the entire garage. Drivers don't suddenly forget how to race at an elite level overnight. The problem is that the car, the balance, and the overall performance simply aren't matching his talent anymore. And when you put an elite driver inside a car with poor balance, no grip, and weak long-run speed, you get exactly what we're seeing now: frustration, emotional radio moments, mistakes, and results that honestly don't make sense for someone of Busch's caliber. What worries fans most is that this isn't something new anymore. Kevin Harvick already pointed out that this decline has been happening for a while. That means this isn't just one bad setup or one unlucky race. It's becoming a pattern. And patterns in NASCAR can become dangerous very quickly if teams don't solve them fast enough. At the same time, I'm still not counting Kyle Busch out completely. We've seen him bounce back before. We've seen him win races when people thought he was finished. And if there's anybody capable of turning things around under pressure, it's probably Kyle Busch. But after Martinsville, this honestly feels like a turning point moment for the entire organization. Either this becomes the point where Childress Racing finally starts fixing things, or this becomes the moment where everything really starts falling apart. And as NASCAR fans, we're watching that story unfold in real time.